All right, ladies and gentlemen, so starting a social media marketing agency in 2022 is a good idea. Let's get into it. I'll start off by saying no, you don't need a lot of experience to start one of these agencies. It's not too late to start one. It's not a saturated industry. And yes, this business model is what's allowed me to live a life of freedom and fulfillment for the past 4 and a bit years. And the way that this has done this is in 3 ways. Now, number one, it's all online. This social media marketing agency can be done from Bali, Thailand, London, New York, the Starbucks in your hometown, like your bedroom. Like, you can do it from bed. I don't recommend it because gross, but it can be done from anywhere with a laptop and some decent Wi-Fi. Number two, you're running with very high profit margins. Now, what I mean by this is the money that you're charging, you keep so much of it. Like other industries, like compared to these like industries like construction or car dealerships or any other thing that you really look at, your profit margins are going to be so much better just because of the business model that this is. Like, there's no office, there's no full-time employees yet, you don't have like high running costs or anything. All you need is literally like a little bit of software, and that's pretty much your running costs. Like, when I was running quite a lean agency, I was running at about 90% margins, which is unheard of in so many industries. It's impossible in so many industries, but not this one. It's very easy to make a decent amount of profit. And thirdly, it's not time intensive. You're able to run this agency for just a few hours a day. Like, if you're doing social media management for someone, you can use scheduling tools to like spend one day out of the week creating and scheduling all the content for your clients, and then it's all sort of done for the next week. Like, you can literally just sit back and relax. Like, that's what I did for a while when I had social media management clients, when that was all I was doing. I'd spend every Thursday, I think, every Thursday sort of planning, creating the content, and Friday I'd schedule it all, because every Friday I would send an email to my clients saying, right, this is what is going out next week, and then I sort of wouldn't have to work again until the following Thursday. Now, obviously, you have some bits like admin stuff or getting new clients, but that was literally it. It wasn't a very time heavy agency model. The second half of this point is if you're using contractors. Now, contractors are specialists who you can outsource work to. You can outsource the fulfillment of your services to. Let's say you find someone who specializes in social media management, creating content for your niche. Then what you can do, every time you get a new client, you can hand all the service fulfillment to them. They can do all the work. You are buying back your time by paying them, and still keep like 60-70% margins for your agency. It's fantastic. It's such a fantastic business model. So from those three, you've got the financial freedom with the high profit margins, you've got the time freedom by being able to schedule stuff and use contractors, and you've got the location freedom because it is all online. So there's no wonder why this business model is so popular. But I know that so many of you are skeptical and thinking that it's too late because it is so popular. But think about this for a second. Think about how many businesses there are out. No, scratch that. Think about how many businesses there are in your hometown, right? Just think about that. All the coffee shops, all the restaurants, all the gyms, all the estate agents, all the ones that you walk past every day but you don't even notice. All these businesses need marketing. Now, yes, you'll have some that can't afford it, or you'll have some that have their own marketing department, but there are so many businesses that need an online agency to pass off the marketing to. And when you're charging like £500 to £1,000 per month per client, then it doesn't take a load of clients to start to build up a very decent income. You could literally have between 5 and 10 clients. That's the range that I've always really had, between 5 and 10. I never really go over 8, to be honest, because that's too much work for me. The money that I'm getting is good. I've got a great lifestyle. I've got a fantastic work-life balance that's unheard of in so many other businesses. So now that you know that this business model is actually brilliant, let's dive into the steps that you need to follow in order to actually start an agency. Right, so number one, obvious, your service. What are you going to offer? Now, you can go very broad with this and offer a social media like package that includes everything: social media, email marketing, SEO, website design and development, like video marketing. You could offer all of these things if you want. Personally, I like to stick to 1 to 2 services because it makes life so much easier. Yes, you might be able to charge a lot more if you are including a lot more. But think about these things, that it is much more difficult to like get the sale, and also it's very difficult to fulfill. For me, I like to have my time, I like to have my lifestyle, I like to do stuff outside of work, and having a business where it's very time intensive, where I offer so many services, just doesn't align with me. It might align with you, that's fine, but for me, I want a very lean agency. So what I do is I offer 1 or 2 services. Now you're going to want to figure out who these are for as well. What industry are you going to target? Popular ones are gyms, estate agents, restaurants. Local businesses are a fantastic one. If you are starting out, I always recommend anyone starting a social media marketing agency, just get your experience with local businesses, because they're easy to sign on, they're easy to get results for, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Literally, you can go onto Google, search car dealerships near me, find all the independent car dealerships, find the independent ones, because obviously the manufacturer ones are going to have marketing departments for them. You're going to want to choose a business size that will hire an agency that is big enough to be able to afford one, but not too big that they would have their own team doing it. And when you Google that, you'll get such a long list of all of them in your services, and you just start outreach, bam, 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 just hitting them all with just who you are, what you do, sort of thing. Along with deciding your service, you're going to want to sort your pricing and your fulfillment. Pricing, I think if you're an absolute starting, I think around £500 a month is a great starting point. Some people say like you should be charging 2k a month. Yeah, if you've got experience in case studies and a lot of brand power behind you, if you're just starting out, I think £500 a month is a perfect place to start. You only need 5 or 6 of those clients to be able to earn 2-3k a month, and that is actually more than the average salary. Like, that's a fantastic amount of money to earn as a beginner. And think about it, 5 or 6 clients, you could sort of run that within, I don't know, 3-4 hours a day maybe. How fantastic is that? And you have the freedom to be able to travel where you want. You can go to Bali or something and work from there. It's brilliant. So now that you have decided on your service, you need to decide on how to like contact the people that you are going to be fulfilling this service for. So I just use the example of car dealerships because I've got experience. Oh, Jesus. Because I've got experience with them. Now I know that a lot of sales managers for car dealerships always hang out on LinkedIn, and the best way to contact them is either LinkedIn or cold email. Now you could be doing LinkedIn outreach, you could be doing cold email, you could be doing Instagram DMs if they're like an e-com business or something and they're active on Instagram, easy to find as well. This is the key for your outreach strategy. They must be easy to contact in terms of sending the message and having that conversation. And 2, they must be easy to find. Like with cold email, you can use a lot of email tools, and LinkedIn, you can use Sales Navigator. You've got to find an industry or a platform where it's easy to find who you're targeting, because if they're very difficult to find, then you're going to waste a lot of time and energy. Thirdly, this is like a bonus one, is to create a content strategy. Now, I'm saying this is a bonus one because it's not a necessity. However, I think everyone should be doing this. I think you should be creating content on a daily basis. Now, I'm not saying create 3 posts a week or stuff. I'm talking about creating daily content to help build your brand, build an online audience, and to showcase your authority. So when people search you, they see, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's talking about it on a daily basis. He's not just some guy who sends me an email and I can't find any profile or account of his online. You have been building your authority for some time now. That is what's going to help you stand out from all the other people in their DMs and emailing them. I won't lie, guys, this is pretty much the fundamentals that you need. Decide on your service, decide how you're going to outreach, find these potential clients, and then do your content. Simple, isn't it? You could literally start this tomorrow. You could spend the rest of today figuring out your service, your niche, who you're going to target, decide on an outreach platform, plan your content strategy. You can be like, right, I'm going to do a reel and a YouTube video every single day, no excuses. And you could just start tomorrow. Yes, there are a lot of ins and outs that you could sort of think about and what if I need a business email address, or what if I need to set up this account, or what if I need to optimize this? You can just put it off and just stay in that state of perfectionism, where you're just it needs to be perfect before I started. And trust me, guys, I wasted so much of my life doing this. I'd have to have the perfect logo and the perfect website set up, and I missed out on so much money that it, like, I don't care about it now. But yeah, I don't want you to do the same. Please just start. So I've covered these simple steps, and you might be thinking there's something missing. Like, why is it this simple? It's the struggle of staying consistent, in which so many people mess up with. They can't just stick with doing these simple tasks day in, day out, regardless of how they feel. Like doing outreach every single day for a year, like 0.1% of people will actually stick to that. And when it comes to you thinking like, is this a saturated market? You don't even think about this when you are putting the daily tasks, the daily habits in place. Because you might be in this mindset of, oh, so many people starting it. Yeah, so many people might be starting it. But how many of them do you think are actually going to succeed in a year's time? How many of them are going to do these daily tasks that it takes to succeed in this space? You've got to learn over time with this business model. You learn with your outreach what messages work the best, what platforms work the best, what content types generate the most leads, what questions in your conversations with prospects get the best answers, what services like work best. Like, are you doing services that are only getting a small return for your clients, or are you doing services where you get huge returns for them? It's all a learning curve. Like everything you're doing, outreach, content, like service fulfillment, pricing, you're just going to learn from everything. You've got to understand that. Like, I didn't understand, like I was at this point where I was like, oh, I know everything now, sick, let's go. But I didn't. Now I know that it's always going to be a learning curve. Business is that. It's always learning, always optimizing, always adapting to the market, to the results that you're getting. But take what I've said on board if you are thinking of starting a social media marketing agency, but just understand that yes, it's easy to start, it's simple to start, but to keep going and to keep consistently grinding and learning and optimizing, that's the difficult bit. But that's what's going to set you apart from the other 99.9% of people doing it. All right, guys, I hope this has been helpful. And what I want you to do is I want you to first like and subscribe, obviously, because you like to support your boy. And I want you to leave a comment. What business are you trying to start right now? Like, are you starting a social media marketing agency? Have you already got one? Are you looking at different business models? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear, and have a fantastic day.